we go. Cover one crew. What is going on? Chris Childs back again. Hope everybody's doing awesome out there. I'm fantastic because it is a game day, baby. You got to love it. The Pittsburgh Steelers taking their talents to Cleveland to face off against the Browns in the dog pound. And what do we know? We know death, taxes, and AFC North football, which is a grind. And we know this one's going to be a grind as well. Defensive football usually takes place. A lot of ground and pound, heavy ground and pound, likely to come to fruition in this contest as well. I mean, we got some injuries to some key names. Obviously, TJ Watt out. Jadeveon Clowney, he is out of this contest as well. But before we get started, smash that like button for me, and why don't we jump in those comments today? Give me your winner. Predict the score in this contest. Who you going to start in this contest? Who you like in this contest? Throw them in the comments, man. We'll talk it out. But nevertheless, let's dive into my start sits of the week for Thursday Night Football. So when we dive into those Pittsburgh Steelers right off the bat, I mean, we know offensively they're looking pretty much similar to what they look like with Big Ben behind center. Now Mitchell Trubisky. The offense is very much anemic. I mean, what else can we say? Offensive plays, let's dive into this, man. 119 offensive plays, only 500 total yards, 510 on the first two contests. The rushing aspect of this team is what concerns me right now. Only 44 attempts for 166. They got to get Najee Harris moving in this offense if they stand a chance in being competitive in this contest, especially against the Cleveland Browns, who have shown the ability at least to put up good amount of points and yardage on the ground themselves. So, I mean, Pittsburgh definitely has to understand they got to get the ground game going and control this clock and try to find the end zone. 0 rushing touchdowns for the Pittsburgh Steelers as we sit today. After 2 weeks of football, it is terrible. I mean, what else can I say? It is not a good look for what we're typically seeing from these Pittsburgh Steelers. And to put the caveat on that, could we see a subpar showing from Mitchell Trubisky? And the conversation now will maybe begin about Kenny Pickett being the starting quarterback in Pittsburgh, and I would absolutely be for that because, you know, I'm kind of over the Mitchell Trubisky thing. They tried. I mean, he is what he is. He's not going to necessarily improve anymore. He just is what he is as a quarterback. And, I mean, passing statistics in 2 contests, 362 yards, 2 touchdown passes, 1 interception. I mean, so it's not lighting the world ablaze with statistical achievement. This pass game is definitely anemic as well. The only thing saving it right now is the superb play of Deontay Johnson. You got to get these other guys involved. Little Chase Claypool, little George Pickens. What'd you draft George Pickens for if you weren't going to use the man? I mean, he was blowing up training camp and the preseason. It's just give him the ball. Give him an opportunity to catch the ball and make some plays. Pat Freiermuth, the Muth. I mean, he's been doing some crazy stuff already this season, becoming very reliable, but that's kind of the MO we're going to see from Mitchell Trubisky in this offense, going to the checkdowns, going to Najee, going to Freiermuth, because it is the easier throws, the more comfortable throws. Field goals for them, I mean, fantasy football kickers are people too. 5 out of 6 for field goals right now. The good positive is the defense has a turnover ratio at +4, which is very, very good at this point right now. So, I mean, Mika Fitzpatrick has been doing fantastic. Yes, they lost TJ Watt. Big loss. We did see it last week to those New England Patriots, 17-14. They just did not look good, especially against the Patriots team that is extremely beatable this year. They just could not put it together on the field overall. Again, the run game was very much stuffed last week, and they got to get Najee Harris moving in that right direction. But when we start talking start-sit time, Mitchell Trubisky, if you're starting Mitchell Trubisky, I feel bad for your team. He is definitely a sit high risk at this point. I mean, what else can you say? I was hoping the rushing upside might have been able to help him out and get him above the 15-point mark. 25 points in 2 games. I mean, it's not horrific, but it's not great, and you're definitely not starting Trubisky in any of your lineups. Even in deeper leagues, I still wouldn't even play him this week. Najee Harris, I'm putting the low-risk marker on him this week because I believe the Steelers are going to be, dedicated to getting his services moving a lot, man. He should see a lot of touches in this contest. I want to say 20 to 25 touches overall for Najee Harris in this contest, making him a low-risk play based on volume potential. So I think, Najee, it's time, man. You got to get in the end zone. You got to help support your team, find the holes, find the gaps. I get it. The offensive line isn't great this year, and he's dealing with that foot injury. So, I mean, it is a bunch of problems that we're talking about this Pittsburgh Steelers run game right now. Jaylen Warren is part part of the problem because he's not doing anything on this field either. Obviously, high risk. You're not playing Jalen Warren, but I do like his game. Let me put the staple on that. Jalen Warren is a very good running back, but they're not going to split touches because you got a thoroughbred in Najee Harris to do it from the backfield. But a lot of people are starting to get off the Najee bandwagon. I even saw somebody on Twitter claim he is just a nicer version of a David Montgomery, and I think that's some disrespect. Don't disrespect Najee like that. It's this offensive line, and it's a lack of passing aptitude in this offense that is crippling this run game. They're stacking the box because nobody is afraid of a Mitchell Trubisky. That's why I'm saying it's Kenny Pickett time. Small hands Pickett. Let's bring him in, and he will likely give them at least an uplift boost that they desperately need in this offense. Low-risk start play for me this week for Deontay Johnson. Yes, I understand the Browns have a good defense, but we saw what Garrett Wilson was able to do against this defense last week versus those New York Jets. So, man, for me, Deontay Johnson, this guy has just proven it over and over again that he is completely underrated in this league. The stuff he is able to do, just put the ball in the vicinity of this man, and he will likely come down with the ball and make some plays. Subsequently, the same thing I want to say, I got Chase Claypool as a mid-risk, good upside play this week. If you really need a good upside play, it's time for Chase Claypool to do something as well. I don't understand why this Pittsburgh Steelers offense is being so, vanilla. Start calling some good plays, some shots to your big boys. The Chase Claypool and the George Pickens, they're trees out there. Give them the opportunity. Throw the jump balls, put it in their vicinity. They will likely come down with the ball. So I'm giving a mid-level risk to Chase Claypool with some good upside. Hopefully a touchdown does come your way if you're going to risk it. I mean, I'm going to say if you have to start Chase Claypool, then that's okay. But I'm giving him like a 60% good upside shot at scoring a touchdown this week. High risk for George Pickens. We got to see him utilized obviously more before we can start trusting him. 2 weeks of decent tape to see. I mean, he's out there running routes. He's just not getting the target share. So right now he is a bench high risk. You cannot play him at this point. Low risk to almost stud start at this point for tight ends is Pat Freiermuth. The Muth, baby. Checkdowns. Checkdowns are key for a guy like this, especially with Trubisky behind center. If Kenny Pickett comes into play, we'll see. He's probably going to utilize the same kind of formation of having the safety blanket and checking the ball down to the tight end position as well. Pat Freiermuth has shown and proven that he is a very reliable commodity already this season, going back to last year. Now you get some touchdown upside. If he starts scoring touchdowns for you, that 10 points is going to turn into 16 to 20 very, very quickly in this offense that is definitely utilizing the short pass and the check down options from Trubisky. So for me, Pat Freiermuth is definitely a low-risk start, and I'm definitely firing up this week. I do believe, I feel it in my gut, man, that he's going to score a touchdown this week as well. So go ahead, Pat Freiermuth, fire him up and don't look back. Cleveland Browns, let's talk about these Brownies for a little bit. And I mean, we know the cast of characters. Jacoby Brissett, the game manager of sorts. I mean, he played very well last week. Didn't really turn the ball over. He was very, very good, very sharp, but they did lose the game. So this is the problem, okay? Nick Chubb, he is killing the leagues right now. One of the league's top rushers, especially in fantasy football. He is just absolutely on fire. So let's talk about the offensive statistics for these Cleveland Browns. 139 offensive plays for a nice 760 in 2 games. You gotta like that, man. They're at least moving the ball. It's kind of like we thought it was going to be. Yes, the passing upside is definitely not there. 376 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So they're not lighting the whole stat sheet ablaze with the passing aptitude. Even though Amari Cooper did go over 100 yards, found the end zone last week, that is a very big positive coming from Jacoby Brissett. But we know what Brissett is. He is a reliable quarterback. He is a game manager quarterback, and he can find his number 1 wide receiver with some decent levels of regularity, man. But the run game is what Cleveland is doing this year, and you gotta love it because Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, we've said it for years, they can coexist in this offense, and they are proving it once again. I mean, what is the 76 rush attempts, 401, and 4 rushing touchdowns. So this offense is going to continue to move behind Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt for me. I love it all day long. You have field goal upside. They are 100% right now, 5 for 5 in field goals. for your kickers. Turnover ratio is a +1, so that's a positive. But last week did come with some hamper because, I mean, how did you blow that? You were up by 2 scores, and you still found a way to, give an onside kick away and then lose to Joe Flacco. Are you kidding me, Cleveland? How else can you talk about Cleveland? I got to feel bad for these fans because how do you lose a contest like that? It's got a big problem on their side. You got Peoples-Jones, you got Anthony Schwartz, you got David Njoku, and then you got the rookie David Bell to round out this roster to see who's going. But let's talk some start-sit for these Cleveland Browns. High risk, obviously, is Jacoby Brissett. I mean, really, we don't have that many quarterback injuries for you to be concerned about at this point to be plugging in a Jacoby Brissett DFS play. I'm not even looking at Jacoby in this direction. You can't do it. But when we're talking about the running backs, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, like I said, 45.6 points to Kareem Hunt's almost 30 points. This offense right now is predicated behind this backfield, whether Hunt is taking in PPR upside from the checkdowns, from the schemed up plays that he's going to get from the backfield, where Nick Chubb has been just an absolute bulldozer. He's finding lanes. He looks good. He looks fast. He looks nimble. He looks quick on his cuts, and he's finding the end zone. This is kind of what was hampering him last season, which is why he fell down. But Nick Chubb is a top running back in this league when he finds the end zone, when he's given the carries, and this offensive line is definitely opening up holes for them. I got stud start all day long for Nick Chubb without TJ Watt. No question about it. This offensive line is going to be able to not have to worry about the heavy presence of TJ Watt. So now I think Nick Chubb is also going to feast once again. Kareem Hunt, mid-level risk for me. I'm still plugging him in my flex. I think you could start him up this week again in a very good contest that's going to be ground and pound heavy. And I think that, he is kind of that speedy X factor for this defense that can exploit plays. And I could also see a touchdown coming from Kareem Hunt. They love playing on Thursday. And when Kareem plays on Thursday, we usually see touchdowns. So I'm firing up Kareem Hunt this week. I think you should as well. Amari Cooper, I was a little bit mid-level risk. I'm upping him this week a little bit to a low risk. I think it's a safer play now that they're starting to figure it out a little bit, starting to build the chemistry. Jacoby looked a little bit more comfortable. He found Amari on the regular, and the supportive pieces aren't necessarily, loaded with talent that are going to start pulling coverage from Amari Cooper's side. I mean, Donovan Peoples-Jones, he's an okay talent, but is he great to do that in secondary piece? I don't think so. I think he's okay. He's not great. Same goes for Anthony Schwartz. High risk, man. David Njoku, high risk. David Bell, extremely high risk. We can't trust this yet. When are we going to see some passes sprinkled to David Bell? Because I believe he could take over that Jarvis Landry role and make this offense that much better in the pass game. Enough of the Njoku, okay? Give him the sprinkles here and there. You tried the Anthony Schwartz thing. Fine. I mean, he's got speed and he's got wheels. Try it deep every now and then. Keep the defense honest. Peoples-Jones, similarly, I mean, in the red zone, you have the ability for the jump ball as well. That is there. But, I mean, this offense, again, is going to be predicated upon the ground game, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And I think that, they're going to continue this thing. It's what they have. Top 3 guys, Hunt, Chubb, and Cooper. And then whoever else gets any points sprinkled in their direction, then it's going to fall that way. But I think that definitely Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and Amari Cooper are very good plays this week on Thursday Night Football. The rest of them, I'm not trusting whatsoever. I'm really rooting for a David Bell to start seeing a little bit more action from the PPR side to get at least his name known in circles, because I'm telling y'all, he is a very good talent and he will dominate when he starts getting passes over the middle and short to the sidelines. He is very good in that. But let's go to the predictions, man. Who am I predicting this week? We got the the Cleveland Browns, favored by 4.5 points as we sit today. And I got to buck this, man. I got to say that every time we see AFC North teams play each other, especially in Thursday Night Football, a short week coming their way, these are field goal contests all day long. And the fact that both teams coming off the loss, they desperately require the win. Mike Tomlin's seat is getting a little warm because he's got to make a decision on who he's going to play at the quarterback position. Is Kenny Pickett ready? Will they continue to go with Mitchell Trubisky? I think it's time for Kenny Pickett, especially if Trubisky has another porous showing or a mediocre showing at best. I think it's time you got to start Kenny Pickett. But for me, 4.5 points is just a little too much, even though I think the Cleveland Browns will likely win this game at home because it is at home and they want to rebound from that horrible loss that they had at the last, 2 minutes of the contest last week. I mean, I think Cleveland still wins this game 24-20, still covering the spread, and the Cleveland Browns will get the victory. So it should be a very good showing and a very good contest, so I hope you all enjoy it. So there you have it. That is Thursday Night Football Start Sit edition with a little point spread picks. Man, we're taking it on the chin so far for overall point spread picks, but we're 2-0 on Thursday Night Football. Let's make it 3-0 this week, but nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments. Like I said, who you starting this week? Throw them in there. Who's your pick for the game for the winners? Throw it in the comments. I'll get back to you. Let's have a discussion, but nevertheless, we'll see you next time. I am out.